Lionel Messi, the rise of a legend. Part 1. In the small city of Rosario, Argentina, a boy was born on June 24, 1987, who would one day become one of the greatest footballers in history. His name was Lionel Andres Messi. From the outside, his childhood looked ordinary. His father, Jorge, worked in a steel factory, and his mother, Celia, cared for the children while working at a local workshop. Lionel was the third of 4 siblings, and like many kids in Rosario, he grew up surrounded by football. The narrow streets and dusty pitches of the neighborhood were his first stadiums. From the age of 5, Lionel's feet seemed to speak their own language. When the ball rolled toward him, it was as if it had found its master. He started playing for a small local club, Grandoli, where his grandmother, Celia, took him to every training session. She was the one who encouraged him the most, who saw in the tiny boy something extraordinary. Messi would later dedicate every goal he scored to her, pointing both hands toward the sky in memory of the woman who first believed in him. But there was a shadow hanging over Lionel's talent. At 10 years old, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. His body was not developing like other boys his age. Doctors said he needed daily injections to grow properly, and the treatment was expensive, far beyond what his family could afford. Still, Messi kept playing. At Newell's Old Boys, one of Rosario's most beloved clubs, he dazzled coaches and terrified defenders twice his size. He was small, yes, but his balance, dribbling, and vision made him seem untouchable. There's a story told in Rosario of how Messi would dribble through entire teams of children, and even some parents on the sidelines couldn't help but clap. People began calling his youth team La Máquina del 87, the Machine of 87, because of how unstoppable they were with Messi leading them. But the problem of his treatment remained. Newell's could only help so much, and without financial support, his future in football was uncertain. Some believed his career might end before it even began. That's when fate took a turn. Word of the little boy with the golden feet reached across the Atlantic all the way to Spain. FC Barcelona, always on the lookout for talent, heard about him through relatives in Catalonia. Scouts were skeptical at first. How could a boy so small, so frail, be the future of football? But when they saw him play, doubts disappeared. At just 13 years old, Messi was invited to Barcelona to show what he could do. The story goes that after only a few minutes on the pitch, the coaches looked at one another and nodded. They had never seen such control, such precision in a boy so young. And so in September 2000, Lionel Messi left Rosario behind with his father and flew to Spain. It was the beginning of a journey that would change football forever. Barcelona offered to pay for his medical treatment, but signing him wasn't simple. There were hesitations within the club. Bureaucracy slowed everything down, and at one point his father worried they would have to return to Argentina. Then came one of the most famous moments in football history. Barcelona's technical director, Carlos Rexach, impressed by Messi's skill and unwilling to let him slip away, signed his first contract with the boy on a napkin. That napkin, now legendary, marked the start of Messi's career in Europe. For Lionel, however, the move wasn't easy. He missed his family, his friends, and his home. He was shy, often silent, and struggled to adapt to life in Spain. But on the training field, with a ball at his feet, everything made sense. Little by little, the world began to notice that a quiet boy from Rosario was about to rewrite football history.